So we had a chance to explore some of the basic configurability of a chart by adding and removing elements of the chart, such as the labels and the legend, by using the quick buttons here on the side. But what I'd like to do now is I'd like to take a deeper look at some of the explicit configurable options with charts and the wide variety of things that you can actually tune. So I've gone ahead and taken our chart. I've reverted it back to something very simple. And we're going to say hypothetically that our boss has come back and said, okay, it needs to be 3D because 3D is where it's at, and 3D is going to make it so much better to look at. So we'll go ahead and say, all right, fine, we can do that. I will select my chart. I will click the Design tab to open the Design ribbon. I will choose Change Chart Type, and I'll select a 3D pie chart. I'll hit OK. Now we have a 3D pie chart. You can see a little bit of depth in it, but let's say it doesn't look 3D enough and we want to tune it a little bit more. I'll go ahead and right-click in the pie chart and choose 3D rotation. And you'll notice that a pane slips in from the right that allows a lot more configurable options with our pie. We have the ability to change the 3D rotation. We have shadow, glow, soft edges, 3D format, a myriad of different things that we can actually do with our pie chart. Now, at this point, what I'd like to do is point out to you, when you are configuring your pie charts, be very careful about what it is exactly that you have selected before you start working with these options. Because you might, in this case, I want to change, let's say I want to add a shadow to my pie. I might think by choosing a preset for a shadow at this point, I'm going to apply a shadow to the pie. But the reality is, if you notice the handles here, I have the chart selected, and if I were to apply a shadow at this point, it would apply to the chart and not the pie. Let me show you. I'll select a shadow, and you'll notice off to the left here, now I have gray for the chart, but the pie itself remains unchanged. So to address this, make sure you have the pie selected. You'll see the handles now appear around the pie itself and the pie pieces. Now when I apply my shadow, it'll actually apply to the pie. And we can see gray appear. Now shadow options for the pie are available, and I could change perhaps how much shadow is showing with the blur. I can change the angle at which the light source is coming from. I can change the distance of the light source and various other things. Perhaps I want the shadow color to be different. There's a variety of things I can change there as well. So what is selected is also going to affect which of these options as far as glow and soft edges are available. Notice I don't have the 3D rotation anymore available to me. Let me go ahead and select the plot area of this pie, which is the kind of where the pie is drawn on top of. And 3D rotation comes back again. I'll open this guy up, and I will change my X rotation. And to give it a little bit more of a 3D effect, or make it more visibly 3D, I'll change the Y rotation. Okay, so we can see a little bit better. Now we definitely can tell this is a 3D pie. But our edges look a little bit crisp. So let's go ahead and round those out a little bit by going to 3D format and changing our bevel. We'll put a rounded bevel on it. Notice I just did what I told you not to do. I applied the rounded bevel to my plot area, not the pie. So let's select the pie this time. Handles appropriate. Apply my bevel, rounded bevel, and now my pie looks a lot more rounded and fluid and seamless. So now let's say we want to change how our data is being conveyed. We want to, say, draw focus to something. I'll select my plot area again, and if I drag a piece out at this point, it's going to expand or explode the entire pie. But that doesn't do me much good if I want to focus in on one of them. So let's go ahead and contract that again. And this time, I want to draw focus to our gray piece here, which I believe is Northwind Traders. And I want to draw that piece out. So I will click again so only that pie piece is selected. Notice the handles are only around that one now. I can drag it out and draw focus to it, showing that it's a small contributor to our overall data and doesn't amount to a large amount of our actual sales. So you can see there's a whole wide variety of things that we can control with our pie chart. We can control 3D perspectives and features and colors and shadows and add all sorts of different effects to it. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to let you play with some of these features now.